Okay, there we go. All right. What's up, everybody? Good morning. Welcome to a Monday edition of Morning Scone presented by Brock, the Batter's Orthopedic Clinic, Hudco Roofing, HudcoRoofing.com, ProCharge EV, ProChargeEV.com, and Restored Motions, RestoredMotions.com. I hope everybody is having a fantastic start to their Monday. Hope you all had a great weekend. Of course, we know the SEC tournament bracket is now set. LSU left Athens and went straight to Hoover to get ready for the SEC tournament. Talked about this a little bit yesterday because you want to make sure, if you're Jay Johnson, that you have an opportunity to practice on the field there in Hoover because the games start Tuesday. So you got to make sure you're there to practice today. So they left yesterday, went to Hoover, and then obviously they'll practice there today. Also, I'll let you know just by way of scheduling, they do have media availability today with the media via Zoom, and Dylan Cruz is available. Hang on, I'll tell you exactly when. It's when we're on air. Let's see. Um, come on. ¿A dónde? Uh, Man, I got something last night. I need to find it. I got something last night from Bill Franquez about an interview, media availability today. I can't find it in my email. Anyway, sorry. So Dylan Cruz is available to the media today via Zoom. So I think it's like a 3:40 Central Time. So I'll be on AFR when that happens. But so we'll start to kind of get a heads up for the tournament. Of course, LSU has Tuesday off, and then they'll play Wednesday at 9:30 a.m. against the winner of Georgia, South Carolina. The good news about that, of course, is not only does LSU get a day off, but also I don't have to go head up against a baseball game, which is fantastic. Because on Thursday and Friday, when LSU in that final hour of AFR was going head up against LSU when AFR was going head up against LSU and Georgia, my audience just completely dissipated. So yeah, I can see real time stuff like that. So I understand a lot of people left AFR to go watch the game, so I don't blame you. But won't have to worry about that this week, and obviously won't have to interfere with really any of our programming. So. Probably it will interview. I guess the end of the game will interview with Handy Time at noon. And again, a reminder: final week of our current lineup on ESPN, starting next Monday, a week from today, Memorial Day. Jimmy Ott, Charles Hannegriff will be back together in the 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. slot. So, new show called Live at Lunch with Ott and Hanny. Weekdays 11 to 1, so in their old Sports Today slot, but sort of a different concept of the show. It's not going to be all sports gambling. They will have some sports gambling, but it'll be a blend of sports gambling and LSU Saints, all the local sports and teams that people here care about. So, all right, we'll say some good mornings here. Some of you on Facebook already said good morning too, so thanks for hanging out while we're patient getting YouTube going this morning. That's right, trivia. The last two times we've had malfunctions, they've both been with your beloved YouTube. I'm just saying. Okay. Brant Roban, I like that we got a 3 seed compared to the rest. Go Tigers. I do like the draw. You'll play either Georgia or South Carolina. South Carolina's slumping, and you just played Georgia, so you're familiar with that opponent. I will be very interested to see what those two teams do with their pitching on Tuesday. Arkansas, like you want to talk about draws, so Arkansas is the 2 seed, right? So by comparison, Arkansas gets to play the winner of Tennessee, Texas A&M. That doesn't seem like a great reward. Florida gets the winner of Alabama, Kentucky. Vanderbilt gets the winner of Auburn, Missouri. So of the teams with a bye, I really like LSU's draw the best. So See how far the Tigers can go there in Hoover. Let's see. Right. Let's see. Go Tigers. Good morning, Brian Pitton. Good morning, Damon Gilmore. Some person. Good morning. Nick Newbill, Michael Castello, Tim Gotro, Tiger Diver. Good morning from the DFW. All right. Let's see. Do you think softball needs a new coach? I do not think softball needs a new coach. However, I am impossibly biased. I think Beth Torina is awesome. I think last year was a real challenge with a lot of youth, and as a result, they they made it through last year and had a very good season this year, and they came up short in regionals. It's obviously disappointing. It's not the expectation that anyone has, especially Beth and her staff. But she's done an awesome job building the program, and I mean, it's always tenuous, I guess, whenever there's an athletic director that didn't hire you. But no, I think Beth has been so good for so long. I think you keep marching forward with a plan to be to get that program in the next level. Matt Plavidal, good morning. Had an off-topic question. Do you still go to the anti-aging clinic? I do. Think about doing some hormone replacement therapy. Yeah, man. I would encourage anybody, if nothing else, to go do your blood work. I mean, it's a commitment to a lifestyle change, no doubt. But I say it every day. A simple blood test can let you know if you're a candidate, but it's true. I mean, I would say go do your blood work, and let them look at what your blood work reveals to see if there's something that you need. And so oftentimes you won't know how bad you feel until you start feeling good again. So I would encourage anybody to at least go and do their blood work. Guy Brooks, good morning. Trivia Carter, good morning. Jesse Brown, good morning. Do you think these Saints keep 4 running backs? If they do, who would pick up as the 4th running back? Well, I don't know why this is just buffering. Hang on, I'm coming back to your question. My apologies. The video just on YouTube is just buffering. I know y'all can see me, but on my there we go. There it is. Fine. Okay. So typically, if you're going to keep a 4th running back, it's going to be someone that helps on special teams, like a Dwayne Washington, for example, is a guy who's primarily a special team player, but could help you in the running game as well. So, Kamara, Kendre Miller, Jamal Williams are all going to make the team. A 4th would be a luxury, but yeah, excuse me, like, Benjamin's still on the roster. I doubt he makes the team, but it's one of those things where I think you look and see if there's someone who can make the team as a special special teamer, that could also give you some depth. Ray Langma, good morning. Ryan DeLon, what does Jay Johnson do with Skeens this week in the SC tournament? He said Thursday start on a limited pitch count. My guess is that's what they would do is pitch him on Thursday. That keeps him on a full week of rest from last week's start, and then gives him an extra day before starting. Well, actually 2 extra days, because he'll start Saturday in the regional. He'll start the marble game in the regional. So that's he most definitely will not pitch tomorrow. He won't pitch on Wednesday. So I think the plan Wednesday would be you treat it like a midweek. You start Blake Money. Some of you yesterday suggested, do you start Thatcher Hurd? Maybe, but I think you'd prefer to have Thatcher Hurd in a closer role, although this is different, being that it's tournament play. So, you have to think, okay, what if I play 4 games during my time in Hoover. So, how do you get through that if you end up making it there? So, in any event, but yes, to your point about Skeens, you protect Skeens for next weekend above all. So you're certainly not going to pitch him on short rest. Aaron Fontaine, good morning. Let's see, feels good to be back in the booth for a few days. Today, lunch at Daryl's for sure. Okay, Aaron, good to see you there. Welcome home. Cody Kibido, good morning. Bit of a bummer how softball season ended. That's true. I mean, you were in the driver's seat and then and ULL beat you twice. So let's see. Matt Plavidal, Matt, if you talk to Kendall, can you ask him about Matt Reiser? Yeah, I will. I was a little surprised that Matt Reiser got let go. I think I mentioned this before to y'all. It was with Matt in Hammond at an event with Matt and Jay Johnson, quite honestly, in Hammond before the season. And J.R. Teagues was there. Matt Reiser has gotten that program, to regionals, I think 4 times during his time there. And, been there for 10 years as the head coach. A little surprising to see that, honestly. I don't know what they're thinking or what direction they go. Ray Langma, great shirt, very creative. Yeah, I don't know who did this. Someone sent this to me when Josh Smith got drafted by the Yankees. It says Catholic, like Catholic High with the Yankee logo, and it says from Baton Rouge to Broadway, but it could say Baton Rouge to the Bronx, but either way. And now Josh Smith, of course, got traded to the Rangers. So, but it was great, good while it lasted. Ronnie Duga, who's on after you? So we're going to move Chuck Oliver up. Good question from 8 to 10 to 6 to 8. So in the slot that was Jimmy Ott's game time will now be Chuck Oliver. So AFR, then Chuck Oliver. Wendell Norman, Guy Brooks, Matt, does the ballpark in Hoover play big? Yes. The dimensions in Hoover are big, and it plays big. Let's see. So just by comparison, the box is 330 down the lines, 385 to the power rallies, 405 to straight center. Hoover Met is 340 to left. It's just 340 down the line, 385 in the alleys, and 405 to center. So basically 10 feet longer down the lines, but the alleys and straightaway center are the same. It plays big, yes. Phil, good night, Matt, from Sydney, Australia. Huge Saints fan. Love watching your show and YouTube pilots. Thank you, Phil. I appreciate that, man. Thanks for watching Down Under. Troy A. Bear, do you still think the Lady Tigers will ever be able to win it all under Beth? I do. Mike the Tiger, 2023 national champs. It's weird that the Mississippi schools are the last 2 champions and both missed Hoover. That's a situation where I understand why both coaches will likely keep their jobs, but I also think both coaches are done winning there. Lamonis is the Mississippi State baseball version of Ed Ogeron. They call it lightning in a bottle, but it is completely dissipated since. And Mike Bianco was going to get fired last year, and maybe someday we'll tell the story of how they got into the regional field, which probably shouldn't have. It probably should have been NC State's spot, but in any event, maybe one day we'll tell that story. But he got in, they got hot, rode 2 pitchers to a championship, which can happen, again, in tournament play. But the issues inherent within that program were very real and are still manifesting. So, all right, smash that like button if you would, please. If you're on YouTube, subscribe up to the channel. As always, brought to you by Brock Baton Rouge Orthopedic Clinic, Hudco Roofing, HudcoRoofing.com. Weston Weaver, Matt, are most teams going to have the same approach with their pitching like Skeens, saving them later in the week? So it's always interesting, Weston. You got to keep in mind, not every team has a Paul Skeens. Okay, like Georgia doesn't have a dominant number 1. Now South Carolina does, and I don't think they're going to throw him Tuesday. But we'll likely throw him against LSU on Wednesday. should they beat Georgia tomorrow. So it kind of depends on the approach, but most are not going to bring their. It's tricky when you have to play on Tuesday because Tuesday's single elimination. Like you have to win to advance into the double elimination part of the field, part of the tournament. So it's tricky because the temptation would certainly be there to do what you have to do to win Tuesday to get into the rest of the tournament. But uh, there we go. Uh, but again, not everybody's facing the same thing because not everybody has the Skeens. Let's see, Bubba Smith, David Tolson almost got the sweep this weekend. Ready to see how well they do during the SC Championship. AJ Holland, got Morgan. Who's currently set up better for success, Game Coin or LSU baseball? Push. Reagan Lee, my son literally clicked the Spanish video on his tablet during your show Saturday. That's hilarious. Drew was watching watching Sesame Street in Spanish. Ali Samdonori, good morning. Deborah Coward, good morning. Brant Roban, funny how the SC tournament in baseball doesn't carry near as much weight as it does in other sports. LSU doesn't necessarily have to win any games to advance. Brant, I think I think sometimes we overvalue tournaments. Like now, if you win the SC baseball tournament, you are in regional field, right? That's how you get the automatic bid. So that's the same like in basketball. But I think something we've just seen is the committees don't really value tournament play as much as some may think they do. Alex DeVilliers, most wonderful time of the year, Dreamland Barbecue and SEC tournament. Yeah, Alex, Dreamland Barbecue's overrated, man. Been plenty of times, been to the little shack in Tuscaloosa, remember they had a Dreamland in Baton Rouge for a while. Just overrated, just not great. Barry Day, Darren Reeves, good morning. Yeah, I know. Jason Horn, what's up? Kerry Hughes, great move with Jimmy and Charles. Have a great Monday. We're all headed for vacation. So we're heading down to the beach in Florida. So we're leaving on Friday. So we'll be gone Friday to Friday. Actually, we'll be gone Friday. We'll be back in town Wednesday, I believe. Leave Friday, we'll come back Wednesday. But I'm going to take off Thursday, Friday next week as well. So I'll be out for 6 shows. I'll be off this Friday, then all next week. And I'll be back when the Monday after the regional. Jerry DeLucky, good morning. Home from post-surgery, R&R in Perdido. That a boy? Hate that they have to play at 9:30. I disagree, Jerry. I'm fired up that they play at 9:30. Could not be more excited. As a guy who does the afternoon drive show, I am fired up that they play at 9:30 because AFR becomes a post-game show. And I hope they keep just playing at 9:30 all week. So, and the other thing too, Charlie. I'm looking at Charlie Cavell. The other thing too, Jerry, that's a benefit of playing at 9:30 is definitively your start time. The tricky part about the SEC tournament is when they play 4 games in a day and there is no definitive start or stop because of weather or how long a game goes. Like sometimes you get to the park thinking you're going to play at 4 o'clock and you don't play until 7:30. And then you're sitting around the park for 3 hours. So, I really like that they play at 9:30. You start the day, you know exactly when your game is, so get up and go. Charlie Cavell, yeah, man, Southeastern Fire and Matt Reiser I was surprised. I'll make a call today and see what the story was there. Mark, good morning. Let's see. Barry Day, what's the rule on players' NFL experience to be on practice squad? I think it's an amount of time. That it's like the number of years that you could spend on the practice squad. So you can have, I don't know if they expanded the practice squad to 10 players. All right, here you go. So if you have no NFL experience, if you are active for fewer than 9 games during their only accrued season, you can have up to 10 players who have no more than 2 accrued seasons, and then up to 6 players can sign without any limitation on earned seasons. So if you have, fewer number of players in the practice squad, then you like that's what. If you remember last year, the Saints put Latavius Murray on the practice squad. So he obviously had more accrued seasons, but they had fewer. You can have up to 6 players without any limitation on earned seasons. So that happened a few years back. Like they changed some of the rules whenever they're trying to expand the rosters a little bit to provide depth and all that sort of stuff. Barry Day, Jamie Leday, Earl Lytle, good morning. Darren Straw, got to drink Weller 12 Friday night. Okay, very good. John Ellis, good morning. Let's see, a couple more. It's almost 8 o'clock. Got to get rolling. Ooh, Drew's backpack. Hang on a second. Somebody decided he was going to wake up at 1:30 in the morning and then wanted to sleep in mommy and daddy's bed. Hey, as always, shout out to Brock, the Baton Rouge Orthopedic Clinic. Remember, Brock Rock and Wine coming up July 29th. Make plans, put it on your calendar. Great event as always. Great wine, great food, live music. July 29th, Brock Rock and Wine. And of course, Hudco Roofing, HudcoRoofing.com. Had hail in Lafayette this weekend. So, give us a shout. Tiger Diver, who's taking out 6 o'clock slot? We still have Otter Locks. We will have Otter Locks. And Chuck Oliver is going to move up from 8 to 10. We'll move it. So Chuck Oliver's show is live in Atlanta, 10 to noon Central. So we take it tape delayed from 8 to 10 p.m. We'll just move it up 6 to 8. Scott McClendon, who do you think Jay Johnson will throw to pitch game 1? Definitely saving Skeens for the second game. Yes. I think he'll treat it like a midweek. And Blake Money started the midweek last week. I think that's what they do. I think you'll treat Wednesday like a midweek, and then Thursday you throw Skeens. Troy Abraham's retirement was short-lived. Hanny, when I give you the sort of abbreviated version. When we moved Hanny and Ott out of that slot, which was not my decision at the time, by the way. It was a lot of factors that went into it with COVID, a lot of other stuff. But anyway, when Ott moved 6 to 8, they put Hester with Hanny in that midday slot, and they get to put it in studio and anyway, a lot of factors. Then Hester moved to the morning with T-Bob, and so then Hanny just had this sort of revolving door and of co-hosts and this and that, and is he in studio, is he on remote, and whatever. So I think he just got very frustrated with the whole situation, and there wasn't a real clear path forward. And so he took the opportunity to go work at Match Point at the time. But ultimately, look, he's a radio guy, and he found his way back. Cajun Country, how close is Lutz to getting cut? Good question. I don't know. We'll see how it goes in the preseason. You have to have a better option before you cut a guy. But he was certainly a cap casualty candidate. But I believe they reworked his deal maybe. Go Lutz, go Tigers, Matt. The Saints have a roster to be very good. All depends on coaching from Dennis Allen. I think it also largely depends on the quarterback play from Derek Carr. Let's see. Do you know of any bracket challenges for college baseball? Not really. I think D1 probably does one. Antron Hemingway, good morning. What time do the Tigers play? They'll play at 9:30 a.m. on Wednesday. Good morning. Irfan Sayad, Reed Rule, Scone and tea from Waffle House Wednesday morning for the SC tournament. Nope, not going to do that. We'll be on Wednesday night, man. Looking forward to it. Ronnie Duga, I guess, Ask Us is back. It's funny how everyone is sort of, you know, Ask Us, and then, we did Handoff Hester. I've always found a kicker to end the show with, and then as that slot has changed, then people end up taking my segment ideas. Matt Plavidal, my wishes Andy Canizero is head coach at Southeastern. I know he's dismissed from Holy Cross, so probably not. Yeah, I don't know what Andy's up to. I was talking about that last week with somebody, maybe with Terrio. I can't remember what Andy's doing now. Scott McClendon, thank you, Matt, for keeping me updated on LSU and the Saints in the middle of Gator Country in Orlando. Oh. Thanks for being here, Scott. I appreciate you. A couple more. Thomas Lamont, who'd you rather the Tigers play, South Carolina or Georgia? Kind of depends who's pitching. My guess is, let's see. I'm trying to see if South Carolina's named a starting pitcher for tomorrow. Because my guess is, not that I see. I mean, so Will Sanders is their Friday night guy. And my guess is they're going to save Will Sanders until Wednesday. So LSU would likely have to face Will Sanders. Georgia doesn't have a true, legit number one. So as we saw this past weekend. So considering Georgia just played LSU, they basically had Saturday or Sunday, Monday off, and then have to play Tuesday, and then come right back. I think I'd rather play Georgia again. So let's see. Justin Marquez, good morning. Louis Malhoit, good morning. I know softball isn't a moneymaker, however, when it's time to move on, Pat. It's not a moneymaker at all. It's a money loser. Literally every sport at LSU loses money other than football, men's basketball, and baseball makes a little money. It's close to break even, but like baseball profits less than $1 million a year, but everything else loses money. Women's basketball loses money. Gymnastics loses money. Like literally everything else loses money. So that's not a factor. Alex DeVilliers, is Ty Florida our biggest X factor going into the postseason? I would make that argument, Alex. You've got to have some, like, you feel confident you can win anytime Skeens is on the mound, but if you get into a super regional scenario, for example, you win game one with Skeens, can Floyd win you game two? I think he's critical. Gregory Gordy, niece is graduating from kindergarten today. Fun. Check out Terrio's letter on Friday if you missed it. Troy Abear, who's filling in while you're going Musso. So we started that. One of the first things I did when I became program director. No more trying to find different hosts to fill in different days, blah, blah, blah. The show producer hosts when the host is gone. Because it's easier for us to find a producer than it is a competent fill-in host. I don't mean to be disrespectful to anybody, but it's just easier to say Musso host AFR, Mario host OTB, Taylor host for Hunt while he's gone. You know what I mean? So that's what we'll do. Stuart Angers, good morning. Kevin Boudreau, Skeen's the only pitcher we can really count on right now. I disagree. Floyd's been great for the last month and a half. The one exception was the game against Auburn, where he was brilliant for 3 innings and then kind of came apart in the fourth, but that was in large part due to all the balks and the protests and the game stoppage, and the wheels kind of came off. But Ty Floyd has been magnificent for 6 weeks now. All right, let's see. And Barry Day. Still baseball season, but have you started formulating your Saints 53-man roster? I have not. Have not even considered formulating a 53-man roster yet. And Chuck Sanchez, what's up, Chuck? Get it? Up, Chuck? Catching the Pirates-Rangers game today in Pittsburgh. Okay, beautiful park there, by the way. Would love to go check that out. I've never been, but it looks beautiful. The bridge, walking across the river into the park looks awesome, man. Take some pictures, man. Okay, y'all have an awesome day. Thanks for watching. We'll get you AFR at 3 and look forward to seeing you then. Peace.